Is that American 11 trying to call?
Buddy, we have some planes. Just stay quiet and you'll be okay. We're turning to the airport.
15 Southwest of Ono going to Hampton.
And who's trying to call me here? American 11, are you trying to call?
Nobody move. Everything will be okay. If you try to make any move, you'll danger yourself and the airplane. Just stay quiet. 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 Just stay quiet.
Well, we are, hopefully, we are back again, and we are indeed live from the rolling hills of Murrayshire in the far, far northeast corner of bonny Scotland. Where else would you rather be? Answers on a postcard, please. Do send them in. Anyway, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are in this absolutely insane world that we live in. Holy fucking moly. Yikes, right? Where do you even begin? At the beginning. Yeah, the beginning of time. When was that? Again, answers on a postcard, right? If you still get them, of course. I'm sure you do. So we are indeed back. I am here in the flesh. I am not an AI bot. Yeah, that's a long story. But I am indeed back again, and I reckon it would have been about 3 weeks ago, 4 possibly. So it's been a while, right? Is this thing on? Are we recording? It's not even on. Fuck. It's not even on. Yeah, some of you probably heard it before, but there was a time when I went to do a live stream and I forgot to press live, and I'm sure I was going for about half an hour. I'm sure of it, man. And yeah, hey, these things happen, right? Technology. Where would we be without it? It's progress, you know. It's progress. You can't halt progress. Remember? Remember, you can't halt it. Yeah. I guess progress would be what you deem progress would be all about your perception, I suppose. Because we hear a lot about progress tied into the fight against climate change. Dun dun dun. But I mean, come on, progress, do me a favor. Let's not go there. So we are indeed back. Like I've said before, I do get on when I can, and I am still kind of looking into different things, and I am currently waiting on a Freedom of Information request reply from one from the Scottish government and 2 from the Scottish police. So the good guys, right? The good guys, of course, yeah. I'm not really holding out in terms of getting very much from them, but I'm gonna try. We're gonna see what we can get. If we can get anything, then we'll take it from there. If they say no, then we'll find a way to kind of narrow it down. Don't think I've been on since the last kind of update I got from, I think it was the Scottish government, it was one of them, the police or the government. And the request, seemingly, if the request you put in costs the government more than, I think it was 500, 600, possibly £600, then they won't do it. So they're like, nope, hey, forget it, right? And I don't even think you can say, well, hey, I'll pay the money, you know? What about I'll pay it and you can do it, right? I don't think there's an option to do that. So I had to go back to the drawing board and kind of think again, which I did. And I went back in and I tried to kind of narrow it down and be a bit more specific in terms of what I was wanting. So I did, and I kind of gave them a time frame rather than the fullness of time, because I mean, seemingly the amount of documents and files and what have you regarding Lockerbie is gigantic, and it would be. I mean, it would be. It was a genuine plane crash. What do I mean by genuine? Let's not even go there. Let's not even go there, right? Aren't all plane crashes genuine? Well, debatable, right? Debatable. So we're touching on kind of NORAD and a few bits tonight. I've got slides and I don't think any videos, so I kind of avoid that currently because the last time we had technical issues galore. It was the CIA. It must have been, right? It was the fucking FBI and the Scottish government in cahoots. Of course, as one, when it comes to these so called entities, like I've said many times before, they don't work for any nation, man. Forget it. Forget it. They don't. It's not what you think, man. Pretty much. I mean, I know people here, I mean, a lot of people here, they see the world for what it is. But many people, man, I know a lot of people are waking up, and I mean, we've said this since about maybe 2021. A lot of people are kind of what you might say coming to, but not only so far. That's kind of my view on it. They're only coming so far and not taking the rest on board, you know. But I guess in time, I guess you learn over time. I mean, I was a fucking doting sheeple at one point, roaming about, just grazing about, head down, not got a clue. Still, probably. Probably. Again, hey, that would be probably down to your perception. But like I said, I mean, it's a crazy, absolutely insane world that we're in. I mean, it's incredibly insane currently. And I mean, I don't know, for at least the past 20, 30, possibly 40 years, man, it's been kind of anything they've kind of created that was good, they break it down, strip it down, take it away, create events, let's say, that can enable a solution. And of course, the begging sheeple, they want it. It becomes convenient for them, but it's tyranny that's sold. People don't get it. A lot of people do, to be fair. But yeah, I'm kind of, the more and more as time goes by, I'm kind of, I guess, bemused at trying to find words to describe the world that we're in, you know? So many different, I mean, I like different opinions and what have you, but so many also different kind of theories on the world that we're in, you know? And like I've said before, and people don't like me saying it, when I kind of, and again, hey, it's just my view, but I reckon all the kind of theories you see and we hear about, well, constantly, they get pushed about continuously. None of them are going to be true. None of them will be true. It's all about when it comes to that division as well. But more and more as time goes on, we are dragged away from what probably is the true nature of the world that we're in. We're just dragged away as the years go by, you know. And I think currently in this realm that we're in, this reality, the next kind of big theory with the in terms of theories of the world that we're in is this simulation theory. That's gonna, I can see that getting growing arms and legs and becoming quite popular, if not already, to be fair. I mean, I personally, again, I couldn't lean towards a simulation theory. I can see why people would lean towards it. Personally, I can't see it. I could be wrong. Hey, I'll hold my hands up. If it's a simulation, I'll be the first to say, fuck me, it's a simulation, right? It's not what I thought. But yeah, I'm always interested to hear people's different opinions on what they think the world might be. And I think more and more people now are becoming aware of what only maybe a couple of years ago was deemed very conspiratorial, not talked about. Shh, hush, fucking hush, right? Don't mention the war situation. And it's I don't know if it's just me, but it seems to be now so many different commentators and podcasters and this kind of explosion of what a lot of people deem the truth movement, or the half truth movement, if you like. It's kind of exploded, man. You know, and it's a frustrating one because part of me thinks, well, that should be a good thing, though. That should be good, right? And then part of me thinks, well, probably not. Probably fucking not. I mean, it could be. It could be a good thing. Not that I'm a fucking know-it-all truther or whatever you might. I mean, I'm just a fucking pretty much average dude who's genuinely concerned about the world that we're in particular my fucking world, my kids' future, their grandkids. That's my fucking concern. The majority, I mean, most things outside that could not care. Could not care, man. Don't care. When I talk about real shit, when I talk about boots on the ground shit, here, man. Not there, not over there, not there. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would easily help my neighbor or a neighboring nation, if you like. I would be the first to help them, man. Well, only the ones that are close by. The Americans, I don't know. Hey, they don't need me. They've got Trump, right? They've got Trump and Mr. Musk, the South African alien. I mean, how would you even describe Elon Musk, man? I mean, come on. So it's good to be back. Good to see a few people in the chat. I can see already. What I'll do is there we go. I'll say hello. I think Toffee commented maybe yesterday, but it's not there in the chat anymore. I don't know why it does that. It kind of resets the comments. So we'll say hello and hopefully we can get a bit of an audio check. Is it on? Got to double check these things. Hey, you know me, right? Fucking hell. You know me. And my son Rich is here. Well, he should be. He might be back in the jail now. He was on day release yesterday. So maybe he'll be out today as well. Who else did I see? D Troop in the hood. There you go. I think also that was an old comment. So maybe not here. Not here. But we'll say hello. Yeah. He did ask about a particular incident with a aircraft 870. Not one I can think of. An air show in 1988. So I would have been 1 year old. I certainly can't personally remember. My memory's not that great, right? If only. Well, probably not. Would it be good if you had you remembered every single thing in your life? Depends what kind of life you lived, I suppose, right? I kind of feel that would drive you insane. Anyone else thought that? No, I can't recall that. I've not heard of it. Maybe I should look it up. Is it 1980? Yeah, maybe I can check it out. Excuse me. So good to see Amber in the hood, all the way in Finland, right? If Scotland should change its name, it should change it to similar to, well, the opposite to Finland or Finland, which would be Fatland. Hey, I'm here all week, right? I'm here all week. Well, maybe not. You never know. Yeah, Fatland. In terms of the, what did they call it? Obesity. Yeah, quite incredible. Although, I mean, Scotland's quite a small country, population wise, right? But anytime I've kind of seen a clip of a show maybe from America, and they're talking about people who are obese, and these people are fucking gigantic, man. I didn't even know a human could get that fucking big. I mean, what? How the hell? How does that even happen? And I kind of think, as bad as it, I mean, a lot of people see it as kind of grotesque and sickening in a way. I mean, I kind of feel for the people because it can't be good, man. Imagine that you can't even walk, you can't even get out of the fucking chair. Do you know? You need a crane to go to the shop. Getting moved about on a fucking pallet, 2 pallets, that sort of thing. Do you know? But I do also think, I mean, it shows you as well how incredible the human body really is, man. To be able to kind of withstand that 20 billion stone. And it's like, wow, that's quite an incredible machine that we've got, the human body. And I think it's got a lot more power than we've been led to believe. Oh, he thinks he's Superman now. He's been bitten by a spider. No, but you know when they talk about animals, they've got different senses and they can fucking read your mind and shit. I'm not saying I can read anybody's mind, but if there is people out there who think they can, fuck me, they probably can. I wouldn't rule it out. I think more in other kind of senses though. I think there's so many that we've kind of lost. Maybe not lost, but we're unaware of it. So in which case they become void. Anyone else thought that? Just me. Probably just me, right? Good to see you, Amber. Who else did I see? Oh, another William in the hood. That's all we need, 2 Willies. Fucking hell, how are we going to get out of this? We've got 2 Willies in the hood. We'll say no more. Oh, the beautiful Justine as well. Good to see you. Great stuff. I hope you're doing well in the family. Or evening, yeah. Yeah, good to see you over in America, the land of hope and glory, freedom. But is that Scotland? I don't know anymore. Yeah, see of course, the World Cup going on in 3 different nations, which is a bit like, yeah. I wonder how far away we are from the World Cup being, like, right across the world. Do you know, when they play in each nation and everybody holds hands and they fucking the whole world's, like, in sync to this sorta hypnotic show. Um Yeah, that's the sort of stuff we we talk about. That's life, but not as we know it. I thought of that the other day. Quite incredible the amount of people that are sort of in sync over this one event. Do you know? Whipped into motion. It kind of shows you how much of a grip they can get on people right across the board, no matter what country you're in. Incredible, really. Ulick as well, the Irish dog, or is it American? I think he's an American citizen now. So he's, we'll say American, right? Nah, he's Irish. You can't wash that out. I'm afraid, right? I'm afraid. I know you've tried. Nah, I'm joking. I'm only pulling your leg, of course. Good to see you, Ulick and Joni. I hope you're doing well. I've not seen yous about. I think you did go live one evening or morning. I think it would have been about 2:30 here, and I was in my bed, and I thought, nah, fuck that. I'm too tired, right? So if you get the time a bit better, I can kind of make an appearance and give you some abuse. I mean, say hello, right, and see how you're getting on. So Justine, you like, oh sod it in the hood. Okay, the new, right? Where's Jimmy? See you, Jimmy. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Justine, Rotary Matrix in the hood. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you back again. Been a while, right? Where has he been? He's been in the prison, surely. Nah, not again. It was not guilty, right? Not proven. Admonished, is that the word? I don't know if they would use that in America. But there you go. Never been in prison, touch wood. Touch wood, man. I've been arrested. I've been charged in the past. Fucking stupid breach of the peace, police assault, resisting arrest, all the usual drunken Scottish behaviour. And I've been in the cells multiple times, in particular from about maybe at the age of maybe 10 up until about 20, my early 20s. And then I kind of grew up a bit. I grew up from there. A lot of my friends went to prison. Still in and out of prison today, unfortunately. But yeah, used to. I mean, yeah, it was terrible, man. Spending time. I don't know what's worse because I've not been in proper prison, but being in the police cells over a weekend. Fucking Jesus. I mean, yeah, you do not want that, man. You do not want. That's a true test of character. That I can assure you, but not a place anybody should be, man. Not a place anybody should be. You know, you'd kind of think people would learn and kind of think, right, I'm gonna improve my life. My life, you know, with prison, a lot of people do, but the majority don't. And a lot of people do say, well, prison clearly doesn't work, right? Um, we could get. There is a guy I know, also in Scotland. I'm hopefully going to get him on in the future, and I reckon he could talk about this in particular, the Scottish prison service, I think they call it, in Scotland as a whole. So hopefully we can do that in the future. Good to see you, Rotary. So anybody else been a weekend in the cells? Let's not go there. I bet Justine did. She's been in remand a few times. Probably not. Too good, right? Too good. Anybody else there that I see, Ulick, Rotary, and then we'll kind of get started. Velvet in the Hood. Is it clapping? I thought I was getting the finger there. I thought I was getting the middle finger. My eyesight is terrible. Is it? Let me see. I think it's clapping. I don't know what at, but I'm assuming it's me, right? Thank you. I appreciate that. Good to see you. What did I see there? And hopefully we can also get an audio check. Half an hour doing a live stream without being on is trivial. Driving a car for 30 minutes without the engine on is a wee bit embarrassing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be right. That yeah, that reminds me of is the movie Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke? And he's like, "How's my driving?" And he's like, "Shit, I think we're parked." I mean, that is a classic Cheech and Chong, right? Quite funny. So good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Justine, Curious Georgia. We'll go with that. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Possibly a new face. I don't even know anymore. I know nothing. I've never knew anything. Shock horror. But yeah, cool dog there. What kind of dog is that again? What do they call it? My friend's got one, but I can't think of the name. Where's Toffee? He'll know. He'll know what sex, age, the whole lot, size, weight, just by that photo alone. You've got to love the dogs, right? Anybody else quickly? I think I might. Oh, why is it doing that? Curious George, Justine, oh sod it, and I think we're probably good to go. Amber in the Hood. Fuck, I'm way behind, man. Terrible. Oh, there's Frank as well. The information tank. Good to see you, Frank. I hope you're doing well. And thank you for the continued emails. Look up the men titled Feeders who maintain the woman trapped in bed at home, well fed. Hey, I don't know, like, I mean, come on, Frank. Hey, I'm not having a go at you, right? Whatever floats your boat. If that's your kind of thing. If that's your kind of thing, this is one of them behind the counter videos that you buy. I mean, yeah, it's I mean, you do even clips that I've seen of these kind of gigantic people. You kind of want to watch it, you know? Even though you're like, oh, it's terrible. But some part of you is a bit like, yeah, I'll maybe watch that actually. And clearly a lot of people watch it, man, these kind of things. I think it's quite popular now, this looking at people's bodies and I mean, there's one in the UK that let's not even go there. And yeah, I mean, is that entertainment? I don't know if you can call that entertainment, to be honest. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to call it. Do you know a lot of these? There's channels on YouTube and online that have become quite big, and the people make a lot of money as well. But they go about like streets that are just down and out and fucking a complete wreck of a town. And I think they've kind of tagged that. What did they call it again? Poverty porn. And people think, oh well, it's wrong. They shouldn't be doing that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I can kind of see I can see 2 points of the argument there. I think anybody doing that should just be fucking cautious in what they do and have a bit of common sense about them, right? And I mean, hey, it would be a dangerous thing as well. A lot of these people, I think there's one boy that he's got a bodyguard that he goes about with a bodyguard. because he was getting attacked constantly. I don't know. You know, is that entertainment? Is that how entertainment's evolved? Do you know? I mean, what's going to be next, right? Let's not go there. Answers on a postcard. Answers on a smoke signal, right? Or a flashlight. Answers in Morse code. So good to see you, Frank. I hope you're doing well. Anybody else quickly? It's good to be back. Good to see some familiar faces as well. Sean in the hood. No job here. There'll be no job here. No job. That's my Irish Australian accent. Yeah, the job, eh? Wow. A lot of stuff still coming out. A lot of people, like I said, they're seeing it for what it is. And I said, man, way back in 2022, and some people might remember, I said, hey, it's all gonna come out in time in the near future, to the point where many people are gonna see it and think, boy, did I fucking call that wrong. And some people are going to say, look, I hold my hands up. I got it wrong. Yous were probably right. And other people, they're just going to kind of swallow it, you know, and think, yeah, but next time it'll be different, right? It'll be real, and you'll need to get the juice. Sure. What's the next one going to be? Ebola ×2. Ebola. Indian variant Ebola. Somalian variant Ebola. Be getting charged for racial abuse now. A knock on the door, right? So, good to see everyone. Good to see you, Sean. Frank as well. You look in the hood. That's why for fire brigade goes to the house, with an ambulance just in case. What's going on here? I only learned this in America. Oh, I'm sure someone mentioned that to me recently, actually. Honest to God. Honest to God, man. That's so weird, that. Fucking adamant someone said that to me recently. Something about that. Authorities, when time comes, have to remove windows, brickwork to crane them out. Bloody hell. Beep, beep. I shouldn't laugh, right? I shouldn't. Frank clearly watches. Frank's similar to me. Fucking, I think I might watch that on HBO, Netflix. Where is it? Yeah, that is incredible. That to think somebody can get that big, man, and still be, well, not functioning, but still be alive. You know, sitting there in a strap on a pallet like fucking Jabba the Hutt, stuffing your face with big bags of crisps. And it makes you think as well. Let's say maybe 100 years ago, did people get that big then? Was obesity even a thing then? 50 years ago, 100 years ago? I mean, I don't think people did. Yeah, I know. Hey, we've talked about giants and what have you, and you get people who are abnormally tall, like, I don't know, 8 feet, 9 feet. And we've seen pictures from, I think it was maybe the 18th century, of people who are really fucking tall, you know? But I mean, if there was someone who was like, I don't know, 70 stone, 80 stone, and just gigantic, they couldn't even move, man. I think that would have been well noted. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe there is, right? I mean, I'm not saying people weren't fat before a certain point, but at the scale how bad it is today, man, what have they done, right? I mean, that's what I think. What have they done? I dread to imagine what they've done to people or what they're putting in the food anyway, in the water and in the air, of course, as well. We will be due a geoengineering update soon. And when this tonight, most likely will be a kind of part one of a 2, possibly 3-part NORAD 911 stream. So good to see everyone. Did we get an audio check? The Terminator. I'll be back. Yeah, we'll let you off, Justine. 20 press ups when you get back, right? We're timing you. Put that timer on. Yeah. Yeah, I did hear about that. I mean, they kind of say, well, it's not true. But there was I'm sure it was a newspaper article. I mean, I think they're trying to say it was fake, but I don't know, man. I reckon there was giants. I mean, the people, like I said, you get abnormally tall people now. You know? I reckon there was races of giants. I think in all races as well. So white, black, pink, orange, green, blue. Chinese, probably, I would say so. Japanese, yep. Korean, I don't know. Possibly. But their giants would have been 5 feet tall. Right? Scotland, yeah, I think Nordic. And I think in terms of the American, obviously quite a new nation. But ancient Indian giants as well. I can buy that, man. I can buy that. Aliens on a different planet, can't buy it. Giants on Earth, beings, if you like, on Earth, from Earth, I could buy that. If it's on Earth, it's from Earth. If you see it on Earth, it's been made on Earth, right? That's the rules to go by. It's E.T. You know? It's E.T. It was flying and it didn't look like a plane. It's from Mars. Yeah, okay. And where did you see it? Well, it was on Earth. Right. But it's from Mars. Okay, okay. So we can't get to the moon, but this wee fucking green alien zipped in through, I don't know, a portal, a black hole, and ended up in fucking Timbuktu. And again, hey, I could be wrong. Maybe there is aliens on a planet far, far, far away. But personally, I don't buy it. Does anybody believe in it, that there could be ET on another planet in a far, far universe, in a distant galaxy beyond the moon, beyond Pluto, Saturn? It's an interesting one as well when you talk to people about planets and what they might be, their true history. Are they actually what we're told? You know? I mean, personally, I can't buy the moon is what we're told. So there's very little chance that I'm going to buy any fucking thing that I'm told, especially by NASA. I mean, come on, right? But there you go. So good to see everyone. I think we're okay for the audio, even though I'm fucking messing about here because it's not straight. She said, so we're all good, right? It's good to be back. Yeah, in fact, giants is one that we could maybe talk about. And people who are long-term sufferers of that's life but not as we know it. We did kind of talk about ancient Indian giants on Jekyll Island, of all places, right? And if you've never heard of Jekyll Island, where have you been, man? Where have you been? There's a bit of homework for you. Where is Jekyll Island? Some people will know about it. And I reckon that there's evidence there, potentially, of an ancient race of giant Indians with big giant fucking bow and arrows, big giant bird feathers. Do you know? That's the kind of image you get in your mind, right? With fucking 10 oxes sewed together, wrapped around them. But yeah, I reckon they would have been right. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Do you know? Some people have talked about, well, maybe it was a giant race who built the pyramids. Hmm. I would kind of say no, but I would also kind of say no to an alien race building them. Again, we're kind of way off topic here, as per, but in my view, at least, I reckon we built them. I reckon us as humans, at least, not me personally. Well, I don't think anyway. Can't recall that. Probably right, Scottish and Irish slaves, no doubt. I reckon it was humans, and I reckon they had technology then that is potentially still here today. Only we don't get to know that. That's on a need to know basis, right? And then they've got to kill you. Zoof, finished. I reckon it was with the technology. In what form, that would be an interesting one. So I don't think it was E.T. I mean, some people do say, well, it was us, but we got it from E.T. Phone home, came down, and fucking his finger lit up and boof, pyramid. Right? And it's funny as well that how they kind of portray all these aliens as being tiny wee men, but some people think they built the pyramids. Maybe they're super strong, right? I think lately there's been a lot of talk about the potential blue beam coming too. And we've discussed that in the past many times, blue beam. And I think we've always kind of thought, well, maybe 2030, somewhere about there. I wouldn't rule it out. But I kind of feel if they don't do it 2029, 2030, is that the chance gone? Do you know? They seem to have this real fucking hard on about 2030. I mean, so many things about it. Obviously, the big one being the Agenda 2030 and sustainability. Of course, right? End world hunger. Wow, that'll be great. How are they going to do that? Well, fucking deplete the population by about 20 billion people. Hooray! Wait, what? Oh, then the penny drops, right? Maybe it's not such a good idea after all. But of course, they paint it as a very good thing. And the doting human thinks, well, that'll be great. Why not? Of course, who would not want to end world hunger? See how they get people, right? Who could be against that? Nobody could be against it. But at what cost, though? At what cost are they going to seemingly end combat world hunger? My fucking bollocks, they will. No chance, man. Not with the greed that we see, in particular from the so-called elite or powers that be. And well, unless they all bumped their head, maybe then, right? Maybe then, if they all bumped their head and thought, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to give away all my money now. I mean, I've not got an issue with people making money, to be fair. I think people should definitely be free to make as much money as they fucking want to make. But again, it would come down to the kind of morals of that individual. How far are you willing to go? How many people are you willing to cross, potentially even damage, injure, or kill to make that money? Do you know, is there a line there? A lot of psychotic businessmen, I guess there's not a line at all, at any cost. What would it matter? I mean, look at the fucking stuff they put in products and all these different toys. And I mean, people just incidents and accidents galore. The amount of chemicals, man, they put in, even babies' clothing and what have you. And now we've got the big situation with the so-called microplastics, man. But again, and I've said this many times, we've talked about the microplastics. We've to tread very carefully in terms of what they're putting to us and what they're telling us, right? Because again, one of the kind of main sort of rules would be, remember who's telling you this information. Remember where it's coming from. If it's the mainstream media, approach with caution. Don't be a dog to a bone. Grab it and run with it, man. Because you'll be falling into a trap, because that's what they do. That's what they do. Be cautious, man. I think in the UK as well, was it Ireland? We had a particular event happened. And I think one before that in England, where I think the person got killed. The boy in Northern Ireland, he's not died. I've not looked into any of them yet, but hey, again, approach with caution. Approach with caution, man. Don't be manipulated by them. Don't be. You know? But yeah, there's a lot going on. Things are beginning to kind of heat up, but they do in this particular season. They put the gauge up. In particular with certain events, let's say. Every fucking summer, man. Every summer it comes around. Do you know? But where's it all going? Where's it all going? I did see an Irish guy. I think it might have been on Facebook. And he was quite a young lad. And he was saying, look, it's terrible what's going on and what have you. What we need to do is get rid of the current councillors and politicians and put in new ones, basically. And again, this is what I kind of mean by so far, but not far enough, right? Awaken, but not awake. Or awoken, maybe. Do you know? Because yeah, we're up shit's creek, but no. Putting another person in the political establishment will not fucking change it. It won't. The system is there, designed in a particular way. And we're the people that get screwed over. And it's been like that since fucking day naught. It's always a different kind of thing, a different issue, a different problem. But now the whole world's so interconnected, man. If a bomb goes off in a million billion miles away, you've heard about it. Probably before the fucking person in that country even heard about it. And then the next thing, the sheeple, they're out with the flag. Oh, fucking Ukraine flag. Oh, fucking Iran flag. Oh, Israel flag. What about the Scotland flag? Nah, forget that. Forget that, right? That would be racist, that. A Ukraine... Yeah, knock yourself out, man. Put a Ukraine flag. You know? I've seen I think I maybe mentioned as well, just kind of finally, I did pass a property. I think it might have been the tail end of last year. And it had a big flagpole. and it had the Ukraine flag, the Palestine flag, the tranny flag, the LBG flag, you know that one, and the Scotland flag, but the European Scotland flag, so with the stars on it. And I thought, you absolute fucking twat. Honestly, man. I mean, come on, right? What the heck? And I could picture the person in my head. Literally picture the person, with the jacket and all these a million billion badges on it. Oh, I support this, I support that, And it's like they live in a different world, man. Speak to them about a local issue. They've not got time for it. Speak to them about Ukraine or Iran or Palestine. Oh, they know all about that. Sitting watching the fucking news 24 hours a day. Incredible, man. Quite incredible. But we're here. We're still going. Do you know? What was that about? An hour's monologue. Give or take 4 minutes, right? We're all right. We're not under any pressure for time tonight, so that's quite good. We can go. We can go all night. We're going all night tonight. Right through, all the way through. Right over the mark. Over 12. Probably, actually. Probably through to the Saturday morning. Which is fine. If I do fall asleep, then you'll know, because it'll be something like that, right? Although, hey, it's more likely people listening that'll fall asleep. Fucking this guy again. Oh, I do. Yeah, I put him on, but when I'm going to sleep. Right. Is that a compliment? Is that? We'll take it. We'll take it as a compliment, right? Oh, you're back now. Good, Justine. See, I've been waiting until you got back as well. I thought, should I get started now? And then I thought, well, really, to be a gentleman, what I should do is wait for Justine. So that's what we've done. And Toffee in the hood as well. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. And thank you for helping Arsenal win the league. Much appreciated, right? Should have won that game against Man City. But hey, we won't go there. We won't go there, right? But quite a good season for me. Enough said. We won't say no more. Especially the last final. So good to see you, Toffee. I hope you're doing good. I don't know if Sensum's about. Probably not. I think he's through in, is it Tel Aviv tonight? I think he flew out to Tel Aviv first thing. Him and Yaxley. What's his name? Lennon. Yeah, Stephen Lennon. No, Yaxley Lennon. Tommy. There you go. Many men out there. Well, we kind of call them men. Many people, let's say, out there. Yeah, I mean, they can't be trusted, man. They can't be. And I hate kind of saying to people, look, fucking forget that person. They're not good news, Just avoid it. Because they kind of think, oh, fuck. I know what that's like, man. When you're learning about different people and you think, oh, well, actually, it's not what I think. It's disappointing, that. It's a kick in the fucking stones, man. It is a kick in the stones, that. And I'm sure everyone here's went through that kind of period where you think, oh, not him. Not that one as well. No. Oh, not them all. Fucking hell. Who can you trust, But it's like Bill Cooper said. Pretty much no one, man. You take it on board. It's not a do or die issue to trust or not trust in an instant. Give yourself time, man. Give yourself time. And I reckon the body will tell you more than let's say the media, at least, right? Well, that's a given anyway. So good to see everyone. We'll probably jump out of the comments as well, because you're holding me up here, right? I'm a bit heavy. I'm getting heavy. All that 70 stone. You'll see me on, what is it, TLC or TCL. A million stone Scottish man. Can't leave his house. If only. Yeah, I'm not that big, actually. I don't even know what I am. I think about 13 stone. Unlucky for some, right? I've always kind of bounced between 12 and 13 stone since I was about 16. And I once remember at one point I thought I was a bit underweight. And the nurse said, well, I think I was in my early 20s then. She said, once you're about 30, you'll put on weight. And was kind of laughing, you know? She's like, once you hit 30, that'll be you'll be big fatty then. But that's not came to, thankfully. Who knows? Maybe maybe in time to come. Then yeah. Well, actually, 6'2", so a wee bit less than 6'3". 6'2" and shrinking. 6'2" and shrinking, right? Just height wise, of course, right? 6'2" and shrinking. I'm sure I'm not alone there. So yeah, good to see you, Toffee. I hope you're doing well. It's a pity you missed the show with me and Sensum in your cell. That was a good laugh. That we'll need to do it again, hopefully, and you can join us. Although I did catch you on the Ragnar's stream. It's probably been striked off now. It's probably been struck off. So good to see everyone. Who did I miss there? Lance in the hood as well. Good to see you. I like curry. Well, that's good for you. Someone's got to, right? You and a billion million other Indians. Just don't tell Paul if he's in the hood. Paul O'Neill. Don't tell Paul I'm eating a curry. Of course, Sensum's the man for the curry, right? He loves a good curry. So good to see everyone. I hope you're doing well. Justine, Lance, and the crew in the hood. So if I can take that, I'm sure we're okay for audio. Did we get an audio check? Mic check one. Is this thing on? Broken. Shit, I've not pressed record, right? He's from Luton. Luton Town. Yeah. Who's that? Tommy. Tommy Robinson. If that's his real name. Yeah, you've just got to watch, you know? Because you'll get let down, man. And we said that, man. You know, Trump got in and I said, look, fuck, he'll let you down, but hey, knock yourself out. And he let people down and they said, yeah, hey, he was a letdown. Shock horror. He fucking gets in again. And even more people think, yeah, making America great again. And he's letting them down. I mean, even Alex Jones is now like, nah, can't do it anymore. Even Joe Rogan, even Joe Rogan is a bit like, fuck, actually, that's not for me, right? He helped them get in. I mean, they're actors, man. They're all fucking playing their part. Agendas, men. That's what they are. Joe Rogan, Alex CIA Jones, you name it, man. They're all included. I kind of wish they weren't. You know, I sometimes watch the UFC and I used to think Joe was all right in that UFC and doing the commentating. But the podcasting, I don't know. And that's coming from me. But he's clearly a kind of paid for an agendas man. I doubt he picks the guests that are on. I could be wrong, but I very much doubt it. I think, did he not get a deal with Spotify that was worth about 80 million? They don't hand them out willy-nilly. If only, right? If only. I mean, if that doesn't tell you something, follow the money, of course, right? Follow the money. Plenty money for when it comes to the agendas, men. Plenty money. So we'll jump back to the comments in a bit. Good to see everyone. And of course, keep engaging. I'll try and keep an eye. We'll maybe jump back and forward. Is that going to work? Can we see it? We see it clear. I think we're all good. His show is worth $1 billion. $1 billion? Fucking hell. Is that me? My show? Are you referring to? Oh, cheers, Ulick. I'm taking it, right? I'm taking it. Yeah, well, I'm sure he got that deal. That was Spotify. In terms of his own show and the money he makes outside of that, I don't know. But I'd imagine his net worth would be quite big. And like I said, that, hey, you don't get in a position like that unless you know how to shake the hand in a correct manner, let's say. But that's Joe Rogan for you. We might discuss him in the future. I don't know. I think we've kind of better things to do than talk about that fucking ape. But yeah, quite an interesting character, an interesting guest that he gets on as well from time to time. And I did see he had Bob Bizarre back on. He had Bob Lazar, but this time it was relaxed Bob Lazar, and he was sitting there having a drink, do you know? And I thought, oh, here we go, he's gonna fucking slip up here. So I've not watched it all yet, but Bob Bizarre is another character, another actor. And a lot of people claim that he kind of blew the whistle on, I think it was an Element. I can't recall the name of the Element now. But in actual fact, it had already been mentioned in papers previous to that. So he never he never came out and for the first time said fucking Element, whatever it was, do you know? Just a con man. An absolute con man, Bob Lazar. I remember in one of his early interviews, look, he said, look, I don't make any money from this. I'm not making any money. Right. Okay. And now he's fucking selling stuff left, right, and center. Netflix, you name it. And the guy claims he's not making any money? I mean, if he's not making any money, then boy, have they got a lot of dirt on him. He's doing it all for free, right? Because his good nature. And he wants the truth to be out there. The truth is out there. do, 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 do. You know? Yeah. So we're going to talk a bit about NORAD. Let me just remove the comment. It is indeed the age of deception. I think that's a good way to describe it. Although, I mean, and I have said that myself, but I kind of also feel it's always been like that. Humanity has always been trapped in this kind of deception in one form or another, even. But I could be wrong. But certainly it seems to be now, man, in terms of the AI and the deep fake and what have you. A lot of people are a bit like, what even is the world anymore? What even is it? Do you know? To the point they're fucking pulling their hair out. Element 115. It was something like that, right? I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it had been already mentioned. So I mean, I've covered Bob Bizarre, as I call him, quite a few times now. And he's an agendas man. And a funny story about him is he owned a massage parlor outside, well, in Las Vegas, and it was called the Honey Shack, and it was a honey trap, basically. and he was it was kind of like the Epstein setup, and he had cameras and what have you. And that was early days Bob Bizarre. And then his wife seemingly unalived herself. And that was pretty dodgy what happened there. So weird, man. Do you know, left a note that was really strange, and it's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. And seemingly, just kind of finally on Bob, seemingly his wife had been having an affair. And I think he either found out, actually, I think he said his work told him. They said, look, your wife, we've tapped your phone and your wife's having an affair. The next thing, she's committed suicide. Right. And left a note like, I can't remember exactly. In a better place now. Bob didn't do it. Or something like, I'm sure it was something like, I shouldn't laugh, but it was something like, I done this myself, or I done it on my own. I'm sure it was along them lines, and I thought, wait, it's a bit dodgy, that, right? I don't know if anybody else has looked into the mysterious death of. Well, I mean, it's not even deemed a mysterious one, but in my view, it fucking is, and it's a bit dodgy, man. I would like to get Bob Lazar in a kind of interview room and say, right, be honest. For once in your life, be honest. Do you know? But I doubt it. I doubt it very much. So some of you might recall we done a stream on NORAD in the past. Well, it included NORAD. We talked a lot about the simulations that took place on the very day of 9/11, man. I'm sure it was something like 20 in the 20 upwards different scenario simulations taking place on the day, to the point where people in a control room operated by NORAD, the person said, "Oh, is this a real world or exercise?" They didn't even know. There was so much going on. That particular day, it was like an increase of by so many, a high percentage of simulations. You know, one or two on an average day, maybe three. But on that day, an incredible amount, and one that included sending a lot of Americans' kind of air power, air force, as far away as possible. As far away as possible. And I think they done that deliberately, of course. And the reason they put them far away as possible, because obviously, right, in a kind of controlled inside operation, they could say, look, what we'll do is we'll withhold from putting the military out, right? So the military could have been there waiting, ready to go. But let's say the powers that be would have been saying, look, actually hold back, because of course they wanted it to all to kind of play out before anything could kind of get in the way. Like a have a go hero. That concerned them, I believe. They were concerned that even if they're saying, look, stand down, wait for command, wait for command, a have a go hero might think, well, actually, fuck you. I ain't standing down. I know what's going on. The Twin Towers got blew up. There could be planes, there could be this, there could be more. And of course, on the day they were saying, well, actually, the White House, this, that, the next thing, there could be bombs, there could be this. So that could have been, I mean, I can't imagine some American soldier have a go hero thinking, fuck you, man, I'm going. And just going and thinking, nah, I'm not standing down when I know what's going on. They might have had family in the Twin Towers, do you know? In which case they probably would have thought, actually, I'm going. I'm getting my gear on and I'm in that aircraft and I am fucking in the air. And I will be shooting down anything that I see, just pop, 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 taking out all sorts, right? Fucking news helicopter, CNN live, finished. Clearing the air in New York City. So I reckon there was, I mean, it clearly their operation was well planned out. I think it could have been, I mean, who am I know. But I think it could have been planned out a bit better. But part of me does also think that there was somehow deliberate sloppiness in there. Again, a kind of whole other side of the 9/11. But, you know, this kind of nagging part of me says that there is a lot of sloppiness regarding 9/11, and it's there deliberately, and it's to kind of nudge people into this, if you like, awakening that we're currently seeing. Because how many people do you talk to and you'll ask them, oh, what kind of woken you up? And they'll say, well, September 11, 2001. Well, why did it wake you up? Because, I mean, Bin Laden, come on, in a cave on dialysis. Really? You know, kind of blatant in so many ways as well, that we were not being told the truth in any way, shape, or form. Quite an interesting logo, right? For NORAD. You got the wings around this kind of, what would it be, North American? The Americas, would it be? Although I think we've got Canada in there. It shows how much I know, right? I know Canada is part of it. Of course, they needed Canada. They needed several nations, in particular on the day, to kind of make it run smoothly, including an operation with the enemy, the so-called enemy, the Russians, Putin. Well, it would have been Putin probably. I think he's been in power for about 600 years now. Or maybe it wasn't Putin. Actually, I think it was. I think it would have been. But there was a kind of joint operation going on, a training operation that included work between America and Russia on the day of 9/11, which included many of their planes being in the air, out of sight, and far away. Very fitting, right? Very fitting. And so many simulations going on. People in the NORAD control room didn't know the difference between a real exercise and a simulation. Funny that, right? Because it was similar with NASA. The guy, Gene Cernan, didn't know. He said he couldn't tell the difference between a NASA simulation and a real-time mission. Interesting. Interesting indeed. And then, of course, you've got the sword in the middle with the two lightning strikes at the top. I wonder what the lightning would represent. One on each side, like a mirror image. Yeah. Do you ever look at logos like this and just think, what the heck was going through their mind? I know what we'll do. Get a big fuck off sword, right? Get the Earth, but not the full globe, just the America bit in Canada. Get the wings round it. An angel, but with no head. Big mad sword like Braveheart. Blue background like the theatre of space. And then, yeah, two big, gigantic bolts of lightning. But why, though? What do people think the lightning might represent? I thought I would show you the NORAD logo. Interesting in a I don't know, man. Pretty close to the bone. Pretty close to the bone in terms of when it was founded. Because it's the 12th of September. I nearly said December. The 12th of September. So a day after 9/11, but pre 9/11, of course, because 1957. Before my time, at least. But quite close that, right? Almost on September 11. That would have been interesting. And kind of fitting as well. There is actually a funny story. I don't know if people... Well, it's an interesting one, I thought. But before before NORAD became NORAD, it was a different name. It's failing me the name now. But there was, I think, in the early 1950s, there was an advert put in a newspaper, and it was asking children to phone a number, and they could speak to Santa. This is, yeah, you can look it up. This is the God's honest truth, right? So they put in this article in the paper and said, look, yeah, you can phone Santa and speak to Santa. Ho, ho, ho. And seemingly what happened is a kid got the article and phoned the number, but mistakenly pushed the wrong digit, and it actually took her straight through to the command room at the company that was NORAD before it was called NORAD. And this, I think it was like a 12-year-old girl seemingly was talking to one of the generals in the control room. And she was saying, look, I'm wanting to speak to Santa. And he must have been thinking, what the heck? What's going on here? Is that code? Is this a real world or simulation, right? So seemingly the guy was like, right, yeah, I'm working in the control room for, let's say, NORAD. And I can see Santa now. He's on his way. And seemingly that was the incident that kind of sparked this whole sort of trend of these entities, in particular NORAD, but also NASA as well, who would claim to be tracking Santa, or you could go on and you could follow Santa and kind of, you know, I guess prolonging this myth about Santa, right? Which is, again, a whole other topic in terms of Santa Claus, Saint Nick. But yeah, that's where that seemingly stems from. It's a kind of stupid bit of information. But I remember reading that. They had put the article out. Some young girl phoned it up, dialed the wrong number, got straight through to the control room, talked to a general, and he said, yes, Santa's on his way. It's all good in the hood. And from that day on, NORAD and NASA and NOAA and all these companies lie to your children. But they would only lie about Santa, right? You can follow Santa on NASA and you can check your local fucking climate emissions, but they don't lie about that. They only lie about Santa. Of course, we know the whole bloody lot is likely anyway, one gigantic pile of horse manure. It's not even that good. It's worse than horse manure. Can you get worse? Probably. Human manure. That is worse. Definitely. Yeah, I'm sorry to break it. I hope no children are listening, by the way. What's he on about, Santa? Oh. Yeah, actually, we can see him now. He's on his way. He's about, what are we, halfway through the year now? Fucking hell, already? So he's a couple of months away now. I can see him in the distance with the James Webb telescope. Hey, maybe they do that as well. You can go onto the James Webb and you can see Santa on the James Webb telescope, right? Yeah. I wonder if they can see the. Remember Elon Musk put the Tesla? Was it a Tesla? Well, it would have been. And it had the mannequin. And he was driving into Mars, I think. I'm unsure. I've not heard, and I'd have to look it up. But I do remember he said, well, SpaceX said the vehicle was on its way back to Earth. So I doubt it. But I thought that would be funny. Imagine this vehicle just fucking drops out the sky. They push it out the back of a plane. Poof, there you go. And people are like, fuck, there it is. It's there. I mean, in my kind of view, and again, I'm not an expert or a scientist or a fucking what have you, but something like that wouldn't last a second in space, man. It wouldn't. It would be fucking crushed, flattened, ripped to bits, just annihilated. A bit like maybe if you went to the deep, 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 deep depths of the bottom of the ocean. I mean, what would happen to your body? You know, but I guess I kind of base that on what I've learned from the main frame in terms of what space might be. Do you know? A big part of me thinks space does exist, but it's not what we're told. Some people think it doesn't exist at all. I mean, it could be either of them, but I very much doubt it is what we're told it is. But then again, who am I, right? So it is Canada and America. They seem to be in cahoots, although there are no nations, of course. The entities are in cahoots. I'm a bit unsure in terms of if the Canadians like Americans, to be honest. I get the impression the Canadians don't like Americans, and I'll tell you why. Because I've seen a video, and it was the flags of the nations at the World Cup, and all these flags are coming out. You know, people are holding them, and the crowd, big massive crowd, like Scotland, I don't know, fucking Brazil, and the crowd are like, "Yay, yay!" Out comes the American flag. Boo! Boo! Just boos right across. Not one cheer. And I thought, interesting that. America, it would appear, has become this kind of boogeyman to a lot of nations. Do you know? Like before that, maybe they never had a boogeyman. Maybe the Russian one was wearing a bit thin. You know, but now Donald Trump and the American A team or ICE team are in town. Do you know? I mean, hey, I can't really speak because I think most people, maybe not so much Scotland, but the UK tends to be quite a hated island by many a nation. Many a nation. So I think the good thing to do would be to let them all in here. That maybe we should do. Wait, what? What, they've already done it? Opened the gates and in they came one by one. And hey, you know what they say? Import the third world, become the third world. Shock horror. So the 12th of December, I almost said December again. I've got December in the brain, man. Okay, now that's speaking about Santa. That's what's done that. That's Santa. He's got right into my mind now. And he is true. He's real, right? So seemingly they would be conducting aerospace warning in case there is a, I don't know, a little green man. Aerospace control. Right. Also, they own aerospace then. Right. And maritime warning in the defense of North America. Fuck yeah. So that's seemingly the role and the duty of NORAD. Conducting aerospace warning. So what, like an asteroid? A comet? Is that not NASA that do that? I mean, again, NASA, NORAD. Is there going to be any difference? There's going to be no border there. They'll basically be like the one entity, similar to NASA, NOAA, similar to CIA, Mossad, MI6, what have you. You know, all in cahoots, not fighting each other, but fighting against us is the kind of bottom line. That's for another day. So we're good. We're all good in the hood. I just need to double check we're actually still going. We're all good in the hood. And we are live and direct from the rolling hills of Murray. In beautiful Murrayshire. Not Moray. No, don't say that. It's Murrayshire. I almost said it myself. It's Murrayshire, right? Beautiful place, man. I love the spring and the summer. It's my favorite. And to be fair, I don't mind the winter. Some winters can kind of drag, but some of them I think actually that was quite good. I think now I've got such a sort of, I expect it to be bad, really bad, and when it's not, it's good. Just have a really bad expectation of stuff, and stuff will never let you down, right? So I see we got Mad Fox in the hood, another long-term sufferer of That's Life, but not as we know it. Good to see you. Anybody else that I missed quickly? I think we're all right. Yeah, good to see everyone. A lot going on in the world, right? So much going on, man. So much going on. Big thing about the data centers currently. That's quite a big topic at the moment in Scotland as well. And again, we're in the kind of the killing season, the summer of heat, and there's been a lot of talk about El Nino. El Pablo? No, El Nino. El Nino. Seemingly it was meant to be super duper and bring super duper heat, and I'm like, where's the fucking heat? Although it does feel humid, funnily enough, today, and it's cloudy, and the sun's not out, but it's like really fucking humid, man. To the point where I'm like, fuck, open the window, do you know? Crack a window. And I don't know anyone else in the UK that thinks it's really muggy and humid, but the sun's not even out. Well, it's out, but it's cloudy. And it's been raining. It's so muggy, man. That kind of muggy feeling. Is that El Nino? I don't know. I kind of doubt it. Is it geoengineering, chemtrails? Probably. That would be my view. And for many years, I did say, well, I do say, they're kind of what they're doing, what it would appear they're doing, is putting us in a gigantic fucking greenhouse. A hot box is what I called it. And we are going to get cooked, man, with this blanket that they're going to create. And the heat's just going to be trapped inside like a greenhouse. And it's going to be so humid and just kind of hard to breathe for a lot of people. And I remember when we talked about that before, it's a bit like, I don't know if anybody's got a greenhouse or maybe worked in one. But in a greenhouse, you have complete control of what goes down in a greenhouse. Complete control. You decide the airflow, the temperature, the food, the water, the light, the dark, the humidity, who lives and who dies. So is it about even more control? I mean, you kind of think as well, how could they have more fucking control? Really? What's it going to come down to, do you know? How far is this going to go, man? On one hand, a lot of people think humanity's being wiped out. On the other hand, we seem to be... A lot of people think we seem to be somehow needed. Do you know, a bit like there's no show without an audience, that kind of thing. And some people think, well, they are killing they're wiping a lot of people out, but they need us. And I kind of think, well, do they though? But do they though? It might be a mistake to think, well, yeah, they're doing that and they're doing this, but they need humans anyway. And I kind of think that, I don't know if that's a good sort of way of thinking, man. Oh, it'll be fine. Do you know, a bit like trust the plan, it's going to be all right. They need us while fucking all these people are dying. And you're like, really? You know, you're kind of stepping over bodies and they're like, it's all right, humanity's going to be fine. QAnon, right? QAnon. But I think that could be a dangerous road, that. Thinking, well, they need us though. Fucking hell. Because I get the feeling they don't. And if 2020 never showed you that, I don't know what would. I mean, blink of an eye. Nope, business finished. Money, forget it. What about the children? Forget it. What about the vulnerable? They're finished. What about the elderly? Forget it. What about humanity? Forget it. What about caring? Forget it. Put on your mask, take your juice, sit down, do as you're told. Don't go out, don't talk to anybody, don't touch anybody. You know, it wasn't good enough for them to just say, look, there's a pandemic, fucking it's very dangerous, stay inside if you can, but let's kind of go about life as best as we can, do you know? And it kind of did start like that. Then all of a sudden, look, lockdown, boom, boom, boom. The rest is history. Could we see it again? In our lifetime, possibly. Possibly. I think if we do see similar again, I think there could be a lot more trouble than before. I remember I did think, I wonder if they expected a lot more pushback before. I think they would have been warned about that. Do you know how they do their computer simulations, computer modeling for every scenario? But I mean, they breezed it, man. They fucking breezed it. They breezed it. About 90, maybe not, about 80% of the world just bent over, took it, dry as a bone, man. They took it. I mean, they took it and ran with it, to be fair. A lot of people became like, I don't know, snitches and, sticking people, phoning the police on people for going out. For going out, man. for having a friend round at their house. Quite insane when you think back to what happened. And I was, funnily enough, maybe not the right word, but I was actually looking at photographs the other day from 2020. And there was one image in particular. I was actually going to show you it tonight. But it's like two, I think they're Asian ethnic children. And they've got, do you know the big kind of 5 litre, maybe not 5 litre, would it be? Maybe 10 litre see-through water bottle container. Do you know? Do you know? And I shouldn't laugh, man. I fucking shouldn't. But I'm laughing because I remember there's adults who wore them as some form of what they called protection. They literally cut up the bottom off a bottle and fucking put it over their head. But there was 2 children and the parents had done it to them. And I thought, fucking, honestly, man, the insanity we witnessed for that period in time, the complete insanity was incredible, man. And a lot of it stems from complete fear and believing in what they're told by the media and the government, of course. And I can only hope that most people learn from that and think twice in the future. Think twice. And yeah, it could come round again. It could. Again, if you're looking at a date, most people would probably say 29, 30. Going by recent form, it would maybe be going into the 30s, 31, 32, 33. I wonder what will go down in 2033. Hey, whatever is going to go down in 2033, it's probably in the fucking pipeline now, in the making. The wheels will be in motion. They're kind of, I mean, in terms of how they operate, they're geniuses in terms of how they operate. Years ahead, man. Years. And that's how a lot of these kind of secret societies, in particular the Freemasons, well planned out years ahead. I remember one of the master masons who got interviewed talked about how his personal calendar for the year has every single day planned out and what he's going to be doing that day. The whole year, the whole fucking year, man. And I think that was quite telling. So good to see everyone. I hope you're all doing well and hanging in there in this incredibly strange time that we're in. Why can I not change that? If I put it to that might work. We're going to go with that. So I wanted to talk a wee bit. I mean, like we mentioned before, NORAD, it formed into NORAD in 1957. And it became kind of this thing about, the Russians, the Cold War, It was kind of all about the Cold War. And then they began to do a lot of stuff on what they called drug trafficking, which, I mean, they were there to basically, we're going to stop the war. We're going to help with the war on drugs now and take down the drug trafficking. When, I mean, and again, in my view, they were probably enabling the drugs coming into America. In particular, the ones by, well, I mean, they do aerospace and maritime. So they're in the control room, right? They can let anybody they wish through. CIA, on you go. Help yourself, right? We don't need to search you. On you go. FBI, help yourself. Big aircraft full of, I don't know, big white bags of powder. That must be washing powder. On you go. On you go, right? I mean, again, the war on drugs is, I mean, drugs won. Surely. Surely now we can all say, look, if there ever was a war on drugs, it's over, man. It's over. And it is over. To the point, I mean, in the near future, I think they even talk about it in the UK. They want to kind of enable people who they take heroin and they maybe inject. Oh, we're going to open a wee centre and they can come down there and inject there. And it'll be safe and they'll be nice and safe and they won't get hepatitis or HIV because there'll be fresh needles. We'll provide them. And it's like, what the is going on here? We're at a point now where we want to enable such behavior. Oh, but as long as they're safe and they're addicts, they've got a disease. I get it, man. It's addiction. It's fucking terrible. But that's not getting to the root of the fucking issue. They shouldn't be on these drugs. They shouldn't be able to access. They shouldn't be able to get them. But they do. Shock horror. It's easy. Anybody could walk out onto the fucking street and get drugs, man. It's simple. Speaking from experience, possibly. Possibly, right? I reckon anybody, no matter who they are, you could walk out into the street within about 2 hours, you could source some drugs. And failing that, I reckon you could probably source them online. And as far as I'm aware, even in the prisons in Scotland, in the UK, and I've heard this from a good source, it's easier to get drugs in the prison than it is to get them outside. And that's in the fucking prison. Do you know? And a lot of people, and it's a shame, man, they get wrapped up or they fly with the crows, if you like, and get shot with the crows. They end up in jail and they're down and out, completely down and out. And they think, well, maybe if I smoke that or take that, I'll feel better. And they probably do. You know, they take a wee bit of this, chase the dragon, if you like, and think, fucking hell, this is quite good, actually. You know, not that I've ever done that. But they would, I mean, yeah, they would. They would think, yeah, I'm just going to take that while I'm in jail because I'll get through it, you know? Maybe they're suicidal and they think, well, I'll turn to the drugs, right? And of course, people are there pressuring, peer pressure. Oh, take this. Give me your, I don't know, fucking Mars bar. Give me 2 Mars bars. I'll give you this, and your time will fly by, right? But then they come out, and the kind of first thing on their mind is getting drugs again, and that's them they're hooked, and they're on a very, very, very steep, slippery slope, very slippery, and it's people want to talk about a fucking pandemic. That's a pandemic, man. The cancer, that's a pandemic. No, not got time for that. The World Health Organ. Nah, not got time for that, Fauci, right? I mean, hey, you wouldn't want them having time for it anyway. Because you know what they do? Yeah, we've developed a new cancer juice. Super duper mRNA cancer juice that cures all cancers for anybody. It's the universal cancer juice. Roll up, roll up. Cure the lot. One fucking hit. Boof. Actually, you have to come back every month now. We update it every month. So you come back, you get a wee update. There you go. What does this do to your DNA? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about side effects. No. I think half my face has fell down. You'll be fine. Here, take this tablet. I think my heart's moved. Hey, just sit down. Relax, it's fine. It means it's working. We're in strike territory now. We're deep into strike territory. Territory, even. We'll go with that. So we're kind of skipping a wee bit to 1998 in terms of NORAD and what was going on. So big talk about, cruise missiles. Oh yeah, we fear them. WMD. Oh, proliferation. That's weapons of mass distinction. Weapons of mass determination. Weapons of mass invisibility. You know, like the ones in Iraq. Yeah. Oh, them ones, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, was that the ones we sold Iraq? I think that's the ones we sold Iraq, made in Iraq, and then bombed in Iraq. Fitting. So, cruise missiles, WMDs, terrorism. You know, we had a few incidents in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s in particular. That's when the whole terrorism vibe was coming too. Even in the Hollywood, if you like. Lots of different films kind of conditioning people into, well, fucking terrorists. Turban terrorists everywhere. So the basic kind of thought there is, well, you know, we're worried about these terrorists in the movies. We watched Naked Gun the other night. And we're a bit worried about these terrorists, you know. And of course, we had the Lockerbie bombing. And we had the Twin Towers 1993 bombing, 94. We had was it the Boston? No, not the Boston. Oklahoma. That was in the 90s, right? That's one we might look into, actually. The Oklahoma so-called bombing. I think that could be an interesting one. So there was a buzz about, there was the fear, the conditioning was out there. All these certain incidents happening, making people think, well, maybe we should spend a lot of money on organizations that can kind of warn us or protect us from the boogeyman. In this case, the terrorist, the turban terrorist. So cruise missiles, weapons of mass determination, terrorism, asymmetric threats helped justify air defense. And that's how they operate in a nutshell. Look, we're a wee bit concerned here. You know, there was a bombing that was carried out by a terrorist, no doubt whatsoever. So we're kind of thinking we need to implement a particular way or a particular defense, right? And this justifies it. It's funny how we get these events that happen throughout our lives that justify particular guidelines, rules, scenarios, right? I mean, where would we be without these events? Thank God they were there to justify these fucking things that have been implemented. Hallelujah, we are not worthy. We are not worthy. So, broader threats. were recognized, but not the exact 9/11 method of domestic airlines used as a weapon. Yeah, because that would maybe be a bit obvious, right? I mean, it's not like we're going to say, right, what we're going to do is make a pamphlet with a target, and the target's going to be on the Twin Towers. And it's going to be, I think it was a military pamphlet document. Wait, what? Oh, they did do that. Yeah, they did do that. Yeah. Oh, it's not like we're going to, in the run up to 9/11, create a document and put Bin Laden on the front of it. A NORAD document for an exercise. And we're going to just put Bin Laden smack bang in the middle. You know? Because that would maybe be a wee bit too obvious. Possibly. I mean, would they go that far? 1999 again. Public reporting highlighted Xi'an. I think you call it Xi'an. Cheyenne. I think it's pronounced Cheyenne rather than Cheyenne. I'm sure it's Cheyenne. Where's the Americans? They'll know. Going out on a limb here, they'll know, right? They'll back me up. Cheyenne Mountain. Computer, I think it's modernization. I can't see it because I'm in the fucking way. Let me see. Why can I not move it? Oh, Frank knows. Cheyenne, there you go. So I wasn't far away. What did I say? Yeah, Cheyenne. Although you wouldn't think, if you never knew, you wouldn't think it wasn't. It was even pronounced that way. Cheyenne. I wonder where the name comes from. Anybody know that? Frank will know. Frank's typing right now. This is where it origin. He'll know, right? Good man. So we'll go with Cheyenne. But does anybody know much about Cheyenne Mountain? I mean, I know a wee bit. And I think it probably merits further, dare I say, investigation. Yeah, I think it could be worth looking into. I mean, NORAD were basically based in this Cheyenne Mountain. They were based there. They're not based there currently. They've been moved to a different base. And they're kind of all tied in with the whole Space Force now. That seems to be the big... that seems to get the attention. And we'll talk a wee bit about that as well. So I moved that so I could see it, and I still can see it. It's too wee now. It's too wee, she said. Let's go back. Not to me. There we go. And I need to make it bigger. The fullness of screenness. So yeah, they wanted to update. So they're working away in this fucking mountain. They've like dug into this mountain and built a big gigantic base locked away behind doors that are bigger than this fucking house. In terms of the width of it. Blast doors, you know. Because from what we're told anyway, they were working in Cheyenne Mountain in a kind of nuclear project. Working on maybe, let's say, nuclear weapons. But I don't know, man. I kind of think, but what were they really working on, though? Secret, black project, fucking weapons of mass energy destruction technology. Because that would be the place to do it, right? You know, a lot of people have said to me in the past, well, if they've got direct energy weapons, we did it. They've never tested them. Yeah, well, maybe it's in a fucking mountain behind a door. It would take you 10 minutes to walk past the door. Do you know it's that big? I mean, that's me. I'm kind of assuming. You know, I've got no evidence that that is what happens there. Some people feel it's UFOs, it's aliens. I would lean towards it being a weapon that's going to blow people's fucking heads off or blow them into vaporize them. Or a bit like what we seen on September 11, 2001, when the towers, well, they turned to dust, let's face it. I mean, what percentage of it? Debatable, but the majority of it, it was fucking gone, man. To the point where a lot of people turned up, rocked up, like, where the hell did it go? Well, the Twin Towers were here. Well, they were there, but you're now currently breathing them in. Hip hip hooray. So the warning centre remained technologically complex and burdened by old Cold War era systems. And if I remember correctly, I think they spent about £1 billion on it in this kind of redevelopment. And it's like, right, $1 billion on a fucking computer upgrade? On a computer upgrade! Oh, but it was Cold War technology. We destroyed that. We couldn't build it again. We need 20 billion zillion million dollars to upgrade to Windows. What would it have been? 2. You know? All this money. Similar to NASA. Oh, we need all the money in the world to pretend to go to the moon. And I think a lot of the money they've had, I mean, the money they've had is eye-watering, man. It is genuinely eye-watering. When you consider all the things in the world they could have done with that fucking money. But no, man's dream is seemingly to go, well, it used to be to go to the moon. Now we're going to Mars now. Remember, that's what humanity wants. Remember, we all got together and decided that we're going to go to Mars because that's the best thing for humanity. What, you missed that one? I think I missed it too. We must have missed that, right? I mean, humanity's goal, what would it be? I think, given the current state, the kind of humanity goal is to get by the way things are. We're literally just getting by. What a world we're in. So we jump again, late 1999, 2000, Y2K. Dun, dun, dun. Remember the Y2K, the Millennium Bug? Yeah. Hey, it was all downhill from there, right? It was going so well. It was all going so well. Then, boom, Millennium Bug. And we've talked about this before. Several times, probably. And we talked about how recalling the whole time with the Millennium Bug and this, oh, the world's going to end. Remember, to the point where, I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I remember reading it or hearing it anyway, that seemingly, you know, a lot of people did believe the world was going to end in the year 2000, like on the dot. When the bell when the bell strike, when the clock strike, when the hand even strikes 12. Fucking hell, we got there, right? When the hand strikes 12, finish, that's it, zip. Because the computer in zeros, right? Well, the world won't know, they won't know what's going on. The world will be in chaos. It'll be finished. And a lot of people ran with it. I think Alex CIA Jones was a big pusher of the world's gonna fucking end, we're all gonna fucking die, the frogs are gay. You know, that kinda Alex Jones. And I remember Bill Cooper saying he was listening to Alex Jones on New Year. And even though he knew the whole Y2K thing was a load of fucking pish, Jones was that determined and and convincing, he started to wonder if it was going, if it was true, even though he knew it wasn't. And of course, he knows that even then, he knew that Alex Jones was not to be trusted. Shock horror. But I mean, it was kind of funny because, in my view, that whole Y2K thing was like one big fucking conditioning operation. Because the world did kind of end. But it wasn't in the year 2000, it was in the year 2001. And a lot of people had already been conditioned to the collapse of society as they know it. But of course, it just never came how they thought it would. It came in a different form. But it was still the kind of end of the world for a lot of people. I mean, it changed the world drastically, man. Drastically. A lot of people their views completely changed. The world was shook, man. Shook to its core. Not so much me, because I was only in my early teens. And at that particular time, I didn't care. I did not care. Sounds a bit terrible, I know. I mean, I did think, bloody hell, that's insane, right? The people jumping out, that stood out. I mean, I don't know for anybody else, but that was the one that fucking really kind of shook me a bit. It was like, wow, check the people jumping out, man. You know? Because I think even at that point, it was a bit like, well, but why are they jumping out though? And still to this day, well, I think I know a wee bit more now, but still I'm a bit like, I mean, the figures they talk about is they reckon about 200 plus people jumped out before the building came down. Every side, every corner, every floor. Well, not every floor, but every floor, and there was people on. Some of them jumping out where there appeared to be not even a fire. You know, it's a strange one, man. A strange one to kind of get your head around. In particular, when you think, look, if you're jumping out to avoid dying, but you're going to die when you jump out. Do you know? I mean, what? It's kind of hard to obviously put your mind in that position. But, and I've said this before, I kind of feel if you're of sound mind in that particular situation, you're gonna, if you pardon the pun, hang fire. And you're gonna think, look, there could be something could come here. Something could give, something could break. An opening, I don't know. A fucking angel from above comes down, the door opens, boom, you're away. If that doesn't happen, you're finished. But if you jump out the window even, you are finished. Pretty much instantly. So it really, it's one that, and I know a lot of people do. I know I'm not alone in thinking that, because a lot of people who on the day seen it were looking at the Twin Towers and thinking, why are people jumping out? And one person in particular, who I think was a off-duty doctor, and they were driving towards they heard what had happened and they thought, right, we'll go down there. And this is quite early. The incidents happened. I think both towers at the time had been hit or were on fire, let's say. And they're driving towards it, and the guy's like, they're throwing furniture out the window. And the driver says to him, that's not furniture. He says, that's people. And the two of them are probably thinking, why are they jumping out though? Do you know, even stranger than them throwing furniture out? You know? And it wasn't even like they were jumping out with a makeshift. I mean, a few people did try and climb down. One person got quite far, and then he was like wedged in between uh, the outside of the window, and he was a mountaineer, the guy, and you could see him. It's on video this as well, and he's edging down like fucking Spider-Man, and he's got a long way to go, a long way to go, but he's doing it. And I mean, determination and I guess the adrenaline at the time, you would be like he was probably on steroids. Um, I mean, I don't know. He could have got so far and maybe broke his legs in his back rather than splatted like a tomato, because that's what it was like. If you'd got far enough down, I mean, he got so far, and you're watching it kind of like, fucking hell, he's doing it. Do you know, even if he got so far to maybe get in a window where he was down and out the way of danger, that was maybe in his thinking. But when he's doing this, the second building goes up, and I think it must have been the shaking or force from whatever force happened at that particular time. Unfortunately, the guy lost his grip, and he just went shoo due to I don't know, whatever force went off at that particular moment, possibly the shaking. Although, in terms of seismic readings, it wasn't very much as well. But I thought maybe you would have seen more of that. People trying that. People trying to maybe make a makeshift parachute. Do you know? I don't know. Maybe say. I mean, I think the restaurant at the top. I don't think it was at the very top. The Windows on the World, I think it was called. I don't know. Maybe a couple of sheets, tablecloth sheets. Maybe you might have thought, right, fucking makeshift parachute, fuck, tying it around, tie it around your body, jump out, try and hold it out, and try and fucking paraglide down. I don't know if anybody actually tried that. I guess if you're in an office with not much in that way fabric, then you've not much chance. Maybe I don't know, surfing down on a plank of wood. Do you know? But from what I could see, the majority of jumpers, they just jump. There was no, I'll try this, I'll try that. They just got the fuck out of there. And some people think, well, due to the fire, and Dr. Judy Wood talked about this in terms of the heat, the insane heat. If the heat was that insane, you would be more likely to be lethargic, unable to move, given up, finished, done. No energy. Not even the energy to jump out. Some of them jumped out with some force as well. I mean, there could have been stuff going off. There could have been gas exploding. There could have been stuff in the building that had exploded. Would I rule out bombs being in it? I don't know. Well, I can't rule it out altogether. But I'm unsure. I kind of think no. I think what we seen was more exotic than your your average bomb. So Y2K concerns led to US Russian. So that's US and Russia. I thought he was the enemy. Well, maybe not. To an early warning cooperation around Peterson AFB Colorado Springs, and it shows concern about warning systems, command systems, and accidental strategic miscalculation. Wouldn't want that now. But this one kind of catches the eye as well. So we're in June 16th of June 2000, Canada and the US agreed to extend the NORAD agreement for 5 more years. 5 more years. 5 more years. Effective 12th of May 2001. Yeah. Because, of course, NORAD's got a big part to play. So we need to extend their contract way beyond 2001 and prior to September 11, of course. Let's say May 12th, 2001. And we'll make sure they've got the money, they've got the know-how to implement what's coming. Well, maybe not implement, but guide it, play its part. So an important pre-9/11 treaty development confirming NORAD's continued role. Yeah. Because I guess people might have been thinking, well, we're putting all this money into NORAD and it doesn't really do fuck all. We don't seem to get anything from it. I mean, there they go. They've extended the contract. They've probably agreed to give them more money. And yeah, they deem to be there to confirm or alert people to a warning, a missile, a terrorist. But of course, as we know, even though NORAD was there and they had their 5-year agreement, 9/11 still happened. They never stopped it. They never warned anybody about it. Even though some people did get warned about it. Remember we talked about that. The company, I think it was an Israeli company. A few of them got text messages saying, look, get out the building. Basically, get the fuck out of there right now. And that was seemingly, I think, before. If I'm remembering correctly. And it's well documented that. Some people think Israel done it. I mean, if you see the world in nations, then Israel certainly played a part. A big part. But many countries did. The biggest part was played by America, the CIA. They were in the command center. They made it happen. And of course, when it comes to Mossad, like I said before, Mossad, CIA, you name it, Secret Service, one entity. One entity. As one. Peas in a pod, if you like. Not working for your government. Fucking no way, man. No way. Don't be fooled by it. Don't be fooled. So that was June 16, the year 2000. And I think another quite interesting one is June again. This time 2001. So we're creeping. We're creeping it ever closer now. NORAD sponsored amalgam Virgo. And I think, Virgo, what is that, a star sign? Is there any Virgos in the house? What am I again? Taurus. I would be the Taurus. The raging bull. The stubborn bull. That would be more like it. The stubborn old bull. Full of bull, possibly. But amalgam, I think, is short for amalgamation. Ooh. That would be my guess there. So a sponsored exercise focused on cruise missile. Because remember, you don't want to focus on Bin Laden, or you don't want to focus on an aircraft because that'll be too blatant. And here we are again with these drills and exercises that end up coming to. So, an exercise focused on cruise missile UAV type threats. NORAD was thinking about unconventional air threats in June 2001, but not mainly domestic airlines as a weapon. Because again, that would be a bit too obvious, right? Surely. But a UAV, which of course stands for, who's going to tell me? Let me see. Who's going to tell me what it stands for without fucking Googling it? Who's going to Google it, right? Don't you Google it. Of course, it stands for Unmanned Aerial. And the last one would be... God only knows, right? Of course, I know what it is. It's an unmanned aerial vehicle. It must be that. I'm questioning myself now. Is it unmanned? It's definitely unmanned. Is it aerial or aviation? I'm pretty sure it's aerial. Unmanned aerial vehicle. So like a drone. That's what they call drones, right? So that kind of caught my attention. Because we're on the run up to 9/11. We're in June. And NORAD is deciding to carry out an exercise. This one in particular. Mainly focusing on unconventional air threats like a unmanned vehicle or drone. And of course, September 9, 2001, NORAD announced Operation Northern Vigilance tied to Russian bomber activity exercise in the north as far away as possible. That's the one I referred to earlier. Northern Vigilance. And I think there was another one. Vigilant Guardian, maybe? It was Guardian something, I'm sure. But the Russians had a part to play. Almost as much as Israel did. They all played a part. Often noted in 9/11 research because NORAD attention included northern approaches just before the attacks. So what, northern from north of Canada? North of America? I'm unsure. But they were obviously in the preparations for what was to come. On September. But you know, the UAV, that was the one that caught my attention mainly. I know about the Guardian and Northern Vigilance. But I hadn't known about, previous to this, I never knew about the Virgo exercise. And I find it very interesting it happened in June 2001, months before 9/11. And I thought, well, maybe I can actually look a wee bit and see what I can see about Amalgam Virgo. June 2001. Oh, mate, you've got Bin Laden on the fucking front cover. Should we put Bin Laden on the front cover? I don't know. Is that not a bit blatant? Nah, it'll be fine. Will I put aeroplanes on it? I don't know. Yeah, why not? Why not, right? And I mean, to look at that, to see that, you would be forgiven for thinking that it actually came out after September 11. but it didn't. It came out between the first, well, prior to the 2nd of June, 2001. And Bin Laden, smack bang in the middle. And again, with the quite interesting logos going on. You know, and you'd kind of think as well, oh, here we've got NORAD. I guess at the time a bit unheard of as well. You know, they hadn't had their 15 minutes of fame yet, if you like. And you, like I said, you would be forgiven for thinking, well, it's just a NORAD exercise, probably done in the headquarters, maybe involving the American Air Force. Carry out an exercise, see how it goes. Bob's your uncle. And again, there's the NORAD logo or crest, and another one on the other side, which the NORAD being the north and this one being the south. And I don't know what even that is, man. Is it a torch disguised as a plane with a weird physics fucking logo? What did they call that again? That's a weird one, that, right? And it's got the cloud as well. Oh dear. Oh dear. Strange, right? Or maybe that's just me. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll put Bin Laden smack bang in the middle. Why not? So mission, train the NORAD warriors. The NORAD Power Rangers. Focus. You must focus. You must focus. Air sovereignty and air defense goal enhanced mission readiness. Scenarios based on perceived threats. And we somehow needed to put perceived in a weird font, which is quite interesting. What weird spells being cast there? I dread to imagine. Based on perceived threats, which could be, well, take your pick, right? Bin Laden in an aeroplane, Twin Towers. Would anybody buy that? This was quite funny, I thought. Oh, bloody hell, I'm going to have to move me. Why is me always in the way? Who is this me? Oh, now it's not working. No, it's not going to work. So we're going to look a wee bit at perceived threats and a wee bit more. What time are we on? We're going to break the 3-hour mark, I'd imagine. Possibly just. We might see into Saturday. The way it's going. The way it's going, we probably will. What if I do that? Oh, fuck, I can't do that. I'm on the council StreamYard. I can't do that either. I'm just gonna have to do that. Surely not. And now it's not gonna work. Typical, man. Let me see. Nope, that's not working. I think if I put it, I can't do that either. Oh, for God's sake! Honestly, who's operating this? It's got to be NORAD, right? I think we might have to just avert. Why is it doing that though? Let me see. Why did we have it before? When it first came on. Let me see. If I put, I think it was like that. And if I put it to full screen, That should be all right. Do you know? I don't know about anybody else, but if you look at this guy in the photo, well, on the slide, the main picture, is it Cohen? William S. Cohen, Defense Secretary. Cohen says terrorist threat is real. What? It's not fake, like fucking Naked Gun. No, it's real, man. This is real shit. Do you know? And we have to get that out there. It's real. As opposed to it being what? Manufactured? Fake? Created at home, dare I say? It's real. This is a real threat. You know, you've got to put that out there as well. It's real, man. It's fucking real. This is real shit. This is none of your pretend stuff, right? Like Hollywood. Sure. And this is May, the Washington Times, May 29th, the year 2000. Defense Secretary William S. Cohen, is it Cohen? We'll go with that. Yesterday warned the United States faces a quite real, in quotes there, quite real threat. I mean, even the fact that quite real as well, was that fully real or half real? Well, it's quite real, do you know? Interesting sort of choice of words, that. It'll be kind of real, you know? It'll be kind of real, kind of not real. That's the world in a fucking nutshell. So it'll be a quite real threat of a terrorist, nuclear, chemical, or biological weapon attack on national soil within 10 years' time. Dun dun dun! And that was in a mad document, Joint Vision 2020 document. Prepare now for uncertain future. Potentially, I did kind of glance at it. Yeah, we could. It's one we might look into. An interesting date they picked and kind of tagline as well. Prepare now for uncertain future. And the guy in the image, I'm assuming that's the guy William there. Do you not think he looks like George Washington? Is it just me? Or does anybody else think that he looks a bit like George Washington? Let me see. Maybe it's just me and it's the American flag is throwing me. Maybe it's just me, right? Funny that. I wonder, maybe he's a relation of the Masonic man Washington. But bloody weird, man. I thought, fucking hell, it's George Washington. Still on the go. You know, I posted a thing on my Facebook. That's life, but not as we know it. Shamelessly plugged there. And it was seemingly by going by records and documents. George Washington had dentures, his false teeth, and they were. Some people thought they were wooden, but they were actually they were real teeth that had been acquired from the slaves. And it basically they say, well, they bought them from the slaves. They never extracted them from them. But I don't know. But imagine the cheek of Washington fucking got all these slaves and then loses his teeth and yeah, actually, hey, you, come here. Let me see them gnashers. Yeah. Give them a wee. Yeah, they'll do. Extract them. And he's walking about with them the next day. And the slave's walking about bumping his gums. Maybe that's where the saying comes from. Maybe that's where it comes from, right? We're solving mysteries now. So there we go. We've got George Washington. Shock horror, still alive. There you go. Never died after all. In a uncertain future. There you've got Bin Laden there again. Saddam Hussein. Chuck Cuba in amongst it. And I don't know, I mean, some of them, Some of them look a bit like aircraft. You've got the missiles. You've got this weird fucking drone, excuse me, at the bottom there. The bottom corner. It's not one that I've seen before, actually. It's a bit of a strange one, that. I mean, when it comes to 9/11, some people think there was an aircraft. Some people think there was no aircraft. Some people think there was a missile. Some people think there was a drone. Some people think it was a holographic projection and or sorry, a holographic projection and a kind of drone missile in one. Yeah. It's an interesting one. You know? It would appear the planes did exist. In which case, where did they go? Can they be found? Even today? Probably not. If they are real, then the passengers should be real, right? You would imagine. At least maybe some of them. If so, where did they go? I mean, for me, personally, again, I don't believe planes did fly into the buildings, the two towers. I think something did fly into them, but I don't think it was an aircraft, a passenger jet. I think we would we would have seen a lot more in terms of fallout from a passenger jet flying into the side of a fucking building. So what did they use? A lot of people reckon, look, there was clearly not a plane, but then you've got the kind of conundrum, if you like, of so many people saying they seen a plane. And a lot of people adamant they seen a plane or heard a plane. Or they seen something that looked like a plane. And even the English gentleman on holiday who he was in the I think it was the Marriott Hotel, and the first building gets hit or blows up, and he's like, "What the?" So he goes outside because they're getting evacuated. He's in the second tower. He walks outside, and this is he's getting interviewed, and he says, "I walked outside to help people and try and find his wife who he couldn't find at that time." And he said, "I walked out here and I looked up and he never said effing. And he said, I looked up and a missile flew into that building there. A missile." Now, I've not seen many missiles in the sky, but I reckon I could probably tell the difference between a missile and a passenger jet. And I mean, this guy, we take it for kind of face value, but he seemed genuine. He seemed very, very genuine that he came out, looked up, seen what he thought was a missile, hit the building, and it blew up. Now, what I do find quite interesting is the fact that here we've got NORAD talking about these unmanned drones. And then on 9/11, we have what would appear to be some form of instrument, let's say, hitting the Twin Towers, both towers, south and north. Or if you like, the David and Nelson Towers, Rockefeller, of course. Words from the top, words of wisdom from the very, very top, right? Missile technology is proliferating into the hands of rogue nations. Ah, Yeah, that one. Can't have that now, can we? And terrorist organizations. Oh dear, definitely don't want that. As a nation, you know, good old nation as one, all one together, fighting for the nation. Yeah, when it suits, of course. Of course. So, as a nation, we must research and develop options to combat these emerging threats. And I mean, this is what they do. This is exactly how they fucking operate. Oh, hey, we can't have rogue nations doing it. We don't want terrorists doing it. So we need to do it. And they're doing this exact thing now. But with, can anybody guess? Up in the sky? Geoengineering. And it's pretty much, I mean, it's incredible as well because it's like a carbon copy, a fucking blueprint, man. Because currently now, what they're saying is, look, yeah, geoengineering is a terrible, 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 terrible thing. Terrible thing. Just shockingly terrible. But, Russia might do it. Yeah. But China might do it. A rogue nation might do it. A rogue entity might do it. So, we need to do it. We are going to do it. We are going to be the ones because we're the good guys, remember? We're the good guys. So, we can do it. They can't do it because we'll do it for good. We'll use it for good because we're America. You know? I mean, it's comical. It's quite comical how they operate. And yet, still, a lot of people don't see it. I mean, it's a carbon fucking copy. Statement from, it was General Ralph E. Eberhart? Eberhart. That's a name I don't think I've ever heard before. Eberhart. Anybody? Any Eberharts in the house? What did they call you at school? Eberhart, the big fart. And the rest, right? And the rest. Commander-in-Chief, North American Aerospace Defense Command, and United States Space Command, and this command, that command, before the United States Senate Armed Service Committee Command, Strategic Subcommittee Command, March 8th, 2000. So getting things in place, you know, for the big show. For the big show. Which is, of course, September 11, 2001. And in this, quite a lot of this in the document, you can find it online, by the way. Right? You can look at it yourself and not have me butchering it and just being me. The grey area. Who is responsible for what and who is in charge? Good question, right? Great question. The Gulf of Mexico. Or is it the Gulf of America now? What do we call it now? The Gulf of Canada. The Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Tacos. I think he wants us to call it the Gulf of America now. So we're going to keep calling it the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Mexico. So you'll notice there you've got the Joint Staff Issue number 4, FBI. You've got the FBI. You've got the state governor. You've got FEMA. You've got the Department of Defense there. So they're all kind of interlinked in this exercise, shall we say. With NORAD fucking pulling the strings there. Do you know? I don't know, man. I kind of get the feeling what might have been going on here is some kind of dry run for 9/11. This was them. This was a kind of dummy run. They were practicing how it was going to go down, who was in control, where the commands were, who would do what. Again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I'm leaning that way. Military and civilian cooperation essential for effective post-terrorist attack actions. So, for this simple, let's say, exercise, they had pulled in the big guns. And of course, NORAD pulling the strings. I mean, who even are NORAD? Who was the people? Who was the people in charge? Do we really want to know? Did anyone ever question that? So you've got the lot there, man. You know, all the all the good guys, of course. Even the Bay County, Florida Department of Emergency Management, FEMA, FBI. I'd imagine the CIA in there. Some of them I can't. Is it Florida? I can't make it out. It's too blurry. But you've got all the kind of agencies in about doing their bit. And again, that's quite interesting because I thought it was just an exercise to do with a perceived threat. Why have we got the Tampa Bay County? Why have we got FEMA? I guess they probably would be needed, FEMA. That's another entity that appeared to be there on the day of 9/11. Pretty much in waiting, full gear. But seemingly their excuse is they seemingly had a drill planned for that was starting on the 12th of September, funnily enough. So they were already there in prep for a drill that was going to happen in New York on September the 12th. I mean, it's very fitting, right? Oh, we're already here. A bit like, remember the one in England where I think it was the 7/7 bombing, and I think it's a kind of government official. He's being interviewed on the day, and he's like, actually, well, it's quite funny because we were carrying out a drill for this exact scenario just down the road there. So we were already prepped and prepared. Huh. I mean, who would have thought it? Who would Adam and Eve that? Do you know? I mean, what's the chances? Come on. You want to call that a coincidence? Fuck off. Really? I mean, how much have we learned? There is no such thing as a coincidence. There is not. Take my word for that. I mean, if you've not learned that yet, well, you will. You will. I mean, hey, I'm not here to tell anybody, but you'll see it, man. You'll see. So quite a lot going on there as well. Look at all that. Drone boat. See, if they launched a drone that hit the towers, I reckon it was probably flown from just off Manhattan. I don't think it would have been launched from the ground. Well, from land. I think this kind of exact scenario is what we likely seen on 9/11. I mean, there's a lot going on there, right? A lot going on. How many UAVs? 1, 2. Well, one at least. The MQM 107, low altitude. drone. I mean, it looks like an aircraft. It's even bigger than the fucking aircrafts that are on there. They've got the, I don't know if you can see the pointer. The 125, it's like a fighter jet. And it's smaller than the drone. The perceived threat. A lot going on. Pentagon, Shock Horror, and FAA, which is fucking Alcoholics Anonymous. Officials have ordered a Defense Department study of how UAVs should be integrated into national airspace. I mean, it's quite a big thing now, right? Not so much then, but they clearly had the technology. Predictions are that the US may be operating as many as 2,000 UAVs in 5 to 10 years, which would have took them then to 2010, 2011. Probably not far away off the mark. It's probably a lot more than that, I'd imagine. And I mean, how far has technology went? Even in our kind of reality, since the year 2001. But I mean, hey, for a very long time, and so many people say it, even sheeple say it, they hide technology from us. We get it 20 years later. They monetize it, commercialize it. But the main ultimate goal for them is to use it as a weapon against you. That's their ultimate goal. And then they can even commercialize it and we fucking use it on ourselves. Great, right? Great. So I want to show you this particular, we'll call it a drone. I mean, that kind of looks like an aircraft. I mean, you could say, hey, it looks like an aircraft, it looks like a missile. It kind of looks like both of them. You know, and interesting on the day of 9/11, mixed reports, man. So many mixed reports. Oh, it was a small aircraft. It was a passenger jet. It was a military jet. You know? A big difference between a small aircraft and a passenger jet. But what if you had one of these drones painted like an aircraft, flew it into the tower? Anybody that's seen it might think, well, it was a military aircraft. People who are used to seeing jumbo jets might have thought, well, it was a small aircraft. People a bit unsure might say, well, it was a missile. It looked like a missile. I mean, could I rule out the possibility of this being similar to what hit? I can't. I can't rule that out. I mean, could there have been an instrument like this that could also project a 3D image or holographic image, if you like? I guess that could be a possibility. A lot gets mentioned about a lot of the video. I mean, there is a lot of videos when it comes to 9/11. Some people think some of them are fake. I mean, going by history, some of them probably are. Some of them could be real, some of them could be fake. Because they're very good at that. Do you know they're very good at putting a shark in amongst the fishes? Do you know, and it just putting scent in there that takes you down the wrong road. It just distorts everything. And you're barking up the wrong tree. They're great at that. So I wouldn't rule out fake videos. I think they probably would have done that. But the number of people who claim to have seen something anyway in the air, or claim to hear a noise, man. I think some people even claiming they seen a kind of reflection of it on the opposite building. A staggering amount of people. Could there be people? Could they all be lying? Possibly. I reckon some of them did lie. I reckon some people jumped on it like, hey, I'm going to get on the TV here. I think some people actually got caught out with that. But I just find that quite strange and fitting, given that it's NORAD, given that we're only days from 9/11 unfolding, and you've got NORAD flying these about. Looks like a plane, looks like a missile, looks a bit like a drone. They've also got this one, the N557DM, which looks a wee bit like a fighter jet, kind of military fighter jet. I wonder, did they create one of these that was beyond the public view, that looked a wee bit like a jumbo jet? When something's such a distance away, it's kind of hard to gauge the exact size of it. So if they had a drone that looked a bit like a jumbo jet, or it could holographically, let's say, look like a jet, and it was fucking high up in the sky or far enough away for you to kind of not really gauge the extent of it, the true size of it. I guess that could be a kind of possibility. We're pretty much, where are we now? The 3 hour mark, just about. And hopefully we're still going, because I can't see the comments. We're probably being closed down. Again, going back to Cheyenne. Cheyenne sounds Chinese, right? Or does it not? Is that racist? Probably. Cheyenne. So the Cheyenne Mountain Operations Center. Again, quite an interesting crest logo with the kind of, is it an aircraft, a spacecraft flying away from the planet, but leaving this chemtrail of fucking what would appear to be some form of direct energy fucking laser. And people wonder where we get these ideas from. Quite incredible. Yeah, that caught my eye, and with the yellow and blue as well. A bit like, is that Ukraine? So that was the kind of base of the logo for the Cheyenne Mountain Operations. But currently it's held by the Space Delta, or Space Base Delta 1. And what, talk about a weird, creepy, satanic logo. Jesus. How do you even begin to describe that? And here we are again with a 4-pointed star. The morning star. And what have we got? I'm unsure what kind of animal that might be. Or reptilian fucking dragon with what, 6 heads? And again, it's funny, they always tend to do that. They'll put what appears to be a globe, but it's never the full globe. Sometimes you'll get the full globe, but a lot of the time they'll half it or cut off the bottom of it, and it appears in this fuck, what's the word I'm looking for? It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh man, that's so annoying. What's the fucking word again? Anyway, it's like divided up into sections. Don't try and guess the word because you won't. You won't get it. I won't get it anyway. You know, it's something sphere. Is it something sphere? Oh, Dyson sphere. Is that the right term? A Dyson sphere. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not right. A hydrosphere. Lance reckons. Possibly. But yeah, that's a bit of a weird one, that, right? So I thought I would point that out. Like I said, we're going to do a part 2 on NORAD. Because there's quite a lot. There's a lot to get into. I mean, we covered this without even talking about some of the calls and on the day scenarios. We did touch on the simulations before, but we probably could go over it again. But in part 2, we're still going to be kind of NORAD focused. There's a lot to say. There's a lot to go by. So there's your Space Delta 1 logo with the Star of Lucifer and some kind of weird monster with its claws in Earth. I mean, yeah, hey, that's the world. That pretty much describes the world that we're in, right? Again, I probably shouldn't laugh, but yeah, I guess if you don't laugh, you're going to cry. That's where we are today. And I reckon that's Xi'an Mountain, the entrance to it. So yeah, like I said, hey, if you had the money and the know-how and you wanted to test exotic technology, you would do it in there. You would make up a big story about, well, the Russians, nuclear bombs and, build a base in the mountain. With all that money, right? All that billions to update to Windows 10. That's where it went. Shock horror. Has anyone actually been to Cheyenne Mountain for holiday? Probably not. I reckon we'll maybe discuss Cheyenne Mountain a wee bit more in part 2. But NORAD, seemingly they've been moved out of there now. So they're not there, but it's catching my attention. I think it deserves a wee bit more, dare I say, scrutiny. So when we come back next time, I'm kind of hoping it's going to be an update on the information request. Because they've got a time frame they need to do it by, and time is ticking. I'm unsure of the exact date. It can go over, but usually it doesn't. So we'll soon find out. And of course, as soon as I get the chance, I'll let you know. But here's a meme here. And it's basically a meme of something I've mentioned quite a few times in the past. Do you know this whole... in particular in the UK, the fucking health and safety, man. Jesus. You can't do anything, man. You can't lift your arm up without doing a a risk assessment. You know? It's a bit like that. The Health and Safety Act, what was it, 1972? Who's read it? Nobody. But as far as I know, it's in every workplace in the UK. But it's incredible, man. They go, and don't get me wrong, I understand it. you don't want to go to work and fucking not come home. But sometimes it's like, wow, some of the things that they don't even make sense. It's that bad. And you've to be double checked and looked over, and this is checked and that checked and looked over again and checked again. Risk assessment, double assessment, near miss assessment, dynamic risk assessment. You know, that sort of carry on. And I've always kind of thought the ISS and different, well, going by previous missions, in particular the Artemis one, and I pointed out different vents and stuff that was sticking out, and it just looked horrendous, man. You, if you were, if you were a technician and health and safety expert, you would take one look at that fucking capsule and say, that ain't going anywhere. It ain't going anywhere on Earth. Never mind space. It is not fit for purpose. It's not. And it was just so many dangers. Remember as a kid, some of you might remember, I'm unsure, well, certainly from my childhood, in school, you would get like a dot, not dot to dot, like a spot the difference. You know, two images that are the same, but you have to pick out the dangers in one or either image. You know, like a broken light or a fucking bit of wire that's sparking. You know, you circle all these dangers. Well, if you done that with the Artemis, there would be like a whole screen of circles that would point out dangers or faults that could potentially lead to a near miss anyway, or worse. And when I think back to Apollo, well, maybe not back to it, like, but when I think about Apollo, they were quite good inside the capsule and the modules. They had it all fucking tucked away, stowed away. None of these wires, none of these weird vents hanging about. It was pretty much, you know, intact. It was kind of how you would imagine it would look. But of course, we're talking 1969. Right, so nothing too fancy. But of course, going back to 1969, in terms of health and safety, well, I mean, it was kind of non-existent. It never really, people never really perceived it like we do today. You know, but they should have really been thinking that way. And one thing that always makes me laugh is how these so-called astronauts acted while walking on the moon. While walking on the moon on a foreign planet or rock in space, man. A million, billion, zillion, gabillion miles away from Earth for safety or help. And they're running about and jumping about, tripping over, and not a care in the world. You know? It's like, nah, come on. So we seen it then and we see it today. And it's a bit like, well, again, surely they would have it all in check. So people are not going to say, well, wait a minute, fucking, that can't be right. Why is there a big vent hanging out? Is that the air? What if that gets a hole in it? Is that it finished? Mission over? Mission failed? Do you know, it's strange, man. Simple wee things that could be tied away, stored away in a bit of casing, even if it's a transparent casing. But nah, not even that. Oh, it's only space, right? What's the worst that could happen? We walked on the moon in the 60s. Sure, why not? So I thought I'd point that out because I find it quite funny. And I reckon that takes us to... Oh, I did throw that in as well. I don't know if anybody's been watching the Osmempics. It's on currently. And yeah, I mean, we talked about the Wonder Juice quite a bit. And I remember us talking about how this is maybe in 2021, talking about how in the future you would get a job or a juice for anything. And these juicing, these inoculations would become the norm. And within the fucking blink of an eye, it's became the norm. Oh, I got a runny nose, joof, mRNA. Oh, I got a bleeding nose, joof, double mRNA. Oh, I got a sore toe, boof, quadruple mRNA. Oh, I got a splinter, boof, shingles job. You know? A daily. And now, of course, there's the big craze with the weight loss because everyone's a bit podgy. And what is it? Ozempic, Ozempic, and what's the other one I've been hearing about? Manjaro. And I mean, hey, people, I don't know what to say, man. I really don't. I mean, I know none of us are perfect, but people are now willing, without even a thought or a care, they're willingly eager to be juiced if it means losing weight. I mean, where's it going to end, man? Do you know? At what point are they going to come out and say, yeah, well, do you know how we invented the brain chip and the neural link? Well, we've now designed a super duper juice. It's a bit like a neural link, but you get it juiced into you. It goes straight to the brain and zoop, you're fucking Stephen Hawking. You're the new Stephen Hawkins, right? Not that anybody would want to be him, to be fair. I mean, fucking hell. Wow. Imagine. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be Stephen Hawkins. Wait, what? Really? Each to their own, I suppose, right? But yeah, quite a world we're in. Just complete insanity, man. But you keep your head above it. Keep going, keep pushing. Do what you do. I mean, we've made it this far, do you know? It's kind of like, give me your best shot. Because that's what we've seen in 2020. It was the hidden hand in all its glory, rolled right across the board. Every so-called sovereign nation, can't even say that with a straight face, bending over to it in lockstep. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, but China, fuck China, they started it. Yeah, but Russia had their own juice. Yeah, but it wasn't mRNA. Yeah, but they changed it to mRNA. The Sputnik, remember? They launched Sputnik. I mean, to call the juice Sputnik, I mean, come on. Talk about a giveaway, man. But they launched Sputnik. All right, seemingly it wasn't mRNA, but it did become mRNA. And it was the same with China. It did become mRNA. And I mean, they kickstarted the whole fucking show. They're the blueprint for tyranny. The Chinese, man. You know? And I'm unsure, I probably did mention it, but as far as I'm aware, and I think it got reported in 2023, the guy who created the Russian juice, he got brutally murdered in his flat. And they reckon it was maybe a botched robbery, but nothing got stolen. Nothing got, but I'm sure it was strangled to death he got. And I sometimes wonder. I wonder why. I mean, my first kind of thought was, well, they've took him out. He knows too much. He's done too much. He's a liability. Why risk it? Take him out. That's what they do. Prevention, right? But then I thought, well, maybe actually, maybe it was someone who was either affected or had a family member affected by the juice, and they thought, do you know what? I'll see to this myself. Got the boy's address and then choked him out in his own flat. But I reckon it was probably KGB. It would have been KGB. And I wouldn't be surprised if we seen that happening in the UK and America to these so-called scientists or doctors that were involved with the wonder juice disappearing. I mean, they disappear all the time, the so-called scientists. Fucking going way back to Marconi, which we covered quite a bit. Given the current situation with missing scientists and people, yeah, likely we might revisit the Marconi and a bit more about what's going on today. But we've now currently breached the 3-hour mark. So I do apologise. But hey, it's me. What can I say? You know how the story goes. But yeah, it's good to be back. Like I said, I'm waiting on the freedom of information request. Hopefully I can get that soon. And we'll take it from there. I think this will be the third attempt at trying to get even a fucking sentence from them. But time will tell, because yeah, I won't give too much away about it. I mean, hey, the less they know, the better. Put it that way. And they probably say that about us. They say that about us, right? James Corbett released an interesting video today. The UN climate hoax is finally over. Yeah. It's been over for a while, I think, to be fair. Yeah, I remember Corbett from back in the day. The wee bald-headed guy that stays in Japan. Yeah, not really my cup of tea. But, hey, whatever floats your boat, right? Listen to it all, man. Take it in. And decide for yourself. But yeah, good to see you, Lance. I hope you're doing well. Tonette, is it Tonette? 7, we'll go with that. Good to see you, and I hope you're doing well. And the beautiful Justine, a pleasure. I hope you and the family are doing good. Frank, the information tank, always a pleasure, and part of the furniture for sure. For sure, right? Good to see you. And everyone else, and thank you for the kind of continued engagement. It was quite real. Or is that quite fake? Would quite real and quite fake be the same thing? Answer me that. It's a riddle, right? Surely that would be the same thing, though. Quite real. Funny. Funny, funny, funny. The funny farm? Or is that the... Let's not go there. Yeah. Yeah, I think that must have been when I said there is no such thing as coincidence. There's not. There's not. There's just not. You know? And that can be a hard one for people to get their head around. But there's not, man. There's not. Every single fucking thing that happens. Every single thing. So yeah, good to see everyone. Sounds good. Yeah, hopefully. We'll see what they say. Either way, I'll update on it. and we'll take it from there. I'm trying to get information. I mean, as far as I can see, they've never gave any information out in every request, because you can look up the requests because they publicize them. So you can look them up, and they're all rejected. They've all been rejected. And I wonder if these people kind of gave up on rejection, whereas I'm a bit like, I'm not giving up though. So I went back again, narrowing it down, you know? And we'll see where it goes. But yeah, good to see you, and good to see everyone else. Have we got a tune to go out? I think I might need to play the video that I've got. Is it still there? Hopefully. And yeah, hey, keep your head up. We keep going. We don't fear. We don't bend. We don't break. And enjoy it, man. Try and enjoy yourself. You know, I think they love society being in this hypnotic fear at every turn and corner. What's that? What's that one? What's that one? You know, just fucking on edge, man. Walking on eggshells, thinking, oh, the next big thing fucking hanging over your head. It's a tough world, man. It's a jungle out there. A jungle. So do what you do. Do what you need to do even to get by. Do you know? It can be a struggle, man, for a lot of people. It can be. But you've got to keep going. Hey, there's going to be people out there looking up at you. Looking at you to kind of lead the way. You know, people round about you. Not that that necessarily means that you've got a responsibility, but kind of in reality, we are all responsible. And we can all do more. I know I certainly can. So we try our best. And we keep going. Take what we can. Don't fear anything. And like I always say, no matter what, no matter where, do not comply. And that is about it. Bye-bye.
Up in Boston. Is that American 11 trying to call?
Study. We have some planes. Just stay quiet and you'll be okay. We're turning to the airport.
15 Southwest of Ono going to Hampton.
And who's trying to call me here? American 11, are you trying to call?
Nobody move. Everything will be okay. If you try to make any move, you'll danger yourself.